Hey, it's Erin. When it comes to building an impressive physique, proportions play a huge part in this. So, we must look at the body in terms of its silhouette. How wide are the shoulders? How narrow is the waist? And of course, we can compare upper body to lower body if that's something you're interested in. For the purpose of this video, we are essentially looking from the waist up. So, how can we minimize that waist and maximize the width across the upper body? This is going to make you look kind of like a superhero. And I'll use me for example. When I first started bodybuilding, I had narrow shoulders, and from the front, my waist is generally wide. I like to think that sort of looked like a little SpongeBob when I started lifting. And the ideal proportion is somewhere around that 2.5 to 3 to 1 shoulders to waist. So if you don't have great genetics to begin with, not to worry. This is the great thing about lifting weights, is that you can create the proportions over time. So this video or this workout is intended to help you create that width across the upper body. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to focus more on pulling exercises. We're going to focus on pull downs, which is going to build width across the back. If you want to build depth or thickness in that back, you want to really focus a lot on rows. We're not looking for thickness, kind of from front to back. We're looking for the width, the cobra look, if you will. So we're focusing heavily on the lats and also on the rear delts. And in my opinion, rear delts can be neglected, mainly because they're such a small muscle and they can just be easy to miss. But when they're developed, they look absolutely stunning. It's sort of like the icing on the cake, if you will. So this workout can be done once or twice a week. You can toss it into your current training, or you can pick and choose certain exercises. So without further ado, let's build that beautiful V-taper. Our first exercise is a wide grip lat pull down. Now, if you don't have this machine, don't worry. The individual pulleys are not necessary. You can just use a long straight bar or a long easy bar with an overhand grip. It will give you a very similar effect. Now here, I'm working on scapular retraction. And what that is you're going to really get that good stretch at the top. So make sure that you're letting those shoulders stretch, and then you're going to think about pulling your shoulder blades together as you pull the bar down. Now at that mid-rep point, I'm really thinking about almost squeezing my elbows together. This is going to help greatly with recruiting those lats. So you're getting that full stretch, retract the shoulder blades, and pull all the way down. And I'm not thinking much about my grip. I'm not thinking much about my wrist to the elbow. And it's basically just an anchor for the weight. So I'm thinking about pulling through the elbows and exhaling as I pull, keeping the rest of the body nice and still. So you're going to do 3 to 4 sets of 8 to 10 reps here and really focus on slow and controlled movements. Next, we're moving on to the T-raise. Now this exercise is excellent for the rear delts. You want to make sure that you're not going too heavy because the lats are going to start taking over, and probably the traps and other accessory muscles. This is really focusing on those rear delts. So you want to have your stomach on the pad, you want to have your chest up, spine neutral, and think about keeping constant tension. So I'm not spending much time at the bottom with those dumbbells. I'm keeping the dumbbells in line, so you're looking at about 180 degrees. You don't want to let those dumbbells come lower because that is going to also recruit the lats. So you want to stay nice and high with the dumbbells. Now here we're going to do 3 to 4 sets of 12 to 15 reps. Rear delts really respond to high rep training. Next, we're moving on to the 3-month plank pullover. Now, this is a very difficult exercise. You're not only hitting the core, so this is kind of a twofer. We're doing the pullover. You're thinking about keeping a slight bend in the elbows, getting that good stretch at the bottom, and really focusing on pulling with the lats and teres, which is that little muscle kind of under the armpit. And you want to make sure that your lower back is really flat on the bench. And you're going to go lighter than you normally would for pullovers. And we're also training the TVA rectus abdominis here. So we're gonna have a slight waist minimizing effect along with really hitting the lats and the teres. So this is a higher rep exercise too, 3 to 4 sets of about 12 to 15 reps. Keep it slow and controlled. Next up, we're moving on to a neutral grip, close grip pull down. Now, this is going to have a similar starting position to the wide grip pull down. My upper body is going to be more upright, and I'm thinking about pulling that double D handle about to the collarbone, maybe a bit lower. And think about keeping your elbows close to your body and really focusing on using those lats to move the weight. So I'm keeping the rest of my body relatively still here, core tight, feet flat on the floor, and doing a slight mid-rep pause here to really work on that mind-muscle connection. We're going to do 3 to 4 sets of 8 to 10 reps. And again, scapular retraction, so you're going to get that full stretch, full range of motion, which is going to be amazing for muscle growth. Wrap your thumbs around the bar or the handle and make sure you breathe throughout the exercise. Next, we're going to the cable row machine, but we're going to be doing some rear delt cable rows. I'm leaning forward slightly here. Weight is going to be nice and light because, again, we really need light weight to target those rear delts. Think about keeping your elbows at shoulder height at that mid-rep point or slightly above. Now you're able to keep those elbows high, you're really going to target those rear delts. Now, of course, you can see rhomboids traps working too. We're building that beautiful upper back. Now 3 to 4 sets of 12 to 15 reps here. And you want to keep the same position with the upper body throughout. This is really important. We're working to just target those rear delts. You want to keep that tension on the rear delts. So keep your core tight, keep your feet flat on the pads. Now, I must mention that if you're looking to build muscle, 2 things are important. Number 1, progressive overload, and number 2, eating for muscle gain. So in terms of progressive overload, this might sound complicated. It's really not. You want to think about lifting a little bit heavier each week. That's 5 to 10% increase. Or you can increase your volume around 5 to 10% each week. And what this is going to do is it's going to cause the muscle to adapt and to grow over time. And of course, eating for muscle gain, you want to make sure you're getting enough protein. You want to make sure you're getting good carbs too, and at least eating at maintenance and even a slight surplus. And by slight surplus, I mean just about 100 to 300 calories over maintenance per day. It's going to go a really long way towards helping you build muscle. Now, if you want to build muscle or if you want to recomp or lean down, I do have a new app available. It's called ViaFit by Erin. It's available on Apple and on Google Play. Use code GETFIT for 25% off your first month. Hopefully you'll train with me, and if you do, I look forward to working with you. It's custom workouts, custom meal plans. If you like this video, please consider subscribing and joining the Fit Fam. And if you try this workout, please tag me on social media. I really enjoy seeing you take the workouts and making them your own. That's it for this time. Until next time, train hard, y'all.